Damn, thank God I'm fly. Thank God I'm fly. Thank God I'm fly. You call it cocky, I call it true.
Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we are doing something super exciting. Mama 2023 just happened, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the red carpet and performance outfits from day 1 of the ceremony. I'm doing a separate video for day 2 outfits, and that's coming soon, so be on the lookout for that. In this video, I'm going to comment on the outfits, I'll be giving them a rating from 1 to 10, and when it's a group, I'm going to be ranking the outfits. We have a lot of outfits, so grab a snack, grab a drink, and let's get started. Disclaimer. I am a fashion enthusiast and I studied fashion design in university, however, fashion is subjective. What I might think it's pretty, someone else might hate it, and it's completely okay. This isn't meant to be taken too seriously and I'm only doing it for fun. I'm only talking about the outfits, not the people wearing them. My thoughts on the clothing are just that, on the clothing, so I hope no one misunderstands it. So many people attended the ceremony, and I can't possibly talk about every single person that was there, so forgive me if I didn't mention your faves. I also can't possibly extend on every single look because otherwise we would be here for hours, so I'm going to be short when it comes to talking about each one.
Everybody's looking at you, and I don't think you will.
The first artist we have is Kepler. The girls wore white from head to toe, and looked completely angelic. Almost all the outfits had a feather and silver rhinestone detail, which elevated the looks a bit more. I absolutely love that Hikaru, Yujin, and Bahie are wearing pants instead of dresses. They were the members that caught my attention right away and it was because of that. I'm a fan of anytime girls wear pants that fit them perfectly and just hug them in the right places. Some looks don't feel as elevated as the rest, for example Mashiro's. Her dress doesn't have any feather detail, and although she looks good, it doesn't feel as grandiose as the rest. As a whole I think that all the girls look nice, is great that no one was done dirty, but this isn't a perfect look either. The white outfits blend so much with the white background, and it washes out the looks so much. In other photos with a different non-white background you can see how the outfits pop off more. I also don't like that stylists always go for black or white for the red carpet. Give me some color, goddammit. I wish their looks were in different colors that still looked cohesive altogether, instead of just white. This is an 8 out of 10 because they don't look bad but I need more color. And this is my ranking of the outfits. Next, we have Xikers. Just like most boy groups, they are wearing suits. Most of them are in a black or blue color which is so boring and uninteresting, but there are some exceptions, so let's go one by one. I like that he has a different texture in his suit, but it looks cheap and so freaking wrinkly, get that man a steamer. I like the buttoned vest he has underneath, the pins in the suit's collar are nice, and I love the pop of print with the tie, but still with all that, the look doesn't manage to not look boring. Like the printed tie. That's it. The rest is just so boring. His suit has a very thin strip print, but it's still super boring. I like this. I love the gray color, the gingham print is so pretty. I love the black velvet detail on the neck and the pleats on the pants. I like that the silhouette of the suit is different, but the fit could have been a bit better. It isn't the most revolutionary thing, it's still better than the rest. Boring suit, but I love the choker, the open neck shirt, and the white detail on the shoes. It's not great, but at least they tried to make it more unique with the accessories. Absolutely love the shirt, but the rest is so boring. The same printed shirt with some high-waisted velvet pants, and the same pin and shoes would have looked so freaking good. Love the sparkly blazer, but that's it. I think the blazer has some sort of texture, but it's not enough to really pop off on camera. Still so boring. The overall look is boring. Their stylists tried to make some looks more interesting, but with a tiny bit more the whole thing would have looked better. This is a 6 out of 10, and it's not lower because of the only look I wholeheartedly liked. This is my ranking. Next, we have TXT. They usually have interesting fashion when it comes to these types of events, which is something I always appreciate. In this instance their looks aren't as boring as the typical men look, but it's also not incredible. I really like Soobin and Yeonjun's gray and white looks. I love the two-toned jacket on Soobin with the white piping that matches the white of the top, and I love absolutely everything about Yeonjun's look. It's quite unique and interesting. Bongyu and Taehyun's looks are nice, but they didn't blow my minds. I love that Bongyu is wearing shorts, and I love Taehyun's black sparkly shirt, but aside that, there isn't anything much more interesting in their looks. And lastly, Kai's outfit is so boring and bland. The top part of his outfit actually has some thin colored stripes, but it doesn't pick up well on camera. I don't get why they didn't give him something more vibrant and interesting. Their styling team didn't put the same effort in all the looks and it shows. If all of them had unique looks like Yeonjun and Soobin, the whole thing would have looked amazing, but it unfortunately didn't. This is a 7 out of 10. And this is my ranking of the outfits. Next, we have Lee Youngji. She wore this brown dress. I like that it's cinched in since it makes it really flattering. The ruching isn't bad, but I don't like the center part of the bodice. The brown color is nice, but it would have looked better in a more vibrant shade. As a whole the dress isn't bad, and it's not like she doesn't look good, but the whole thing isn't giving me award ceremony. The look feels more like something she could wear on her daily life, it doesn't look impactful enough for the event. It also didn't help that her hair was styled so simple, and the accessories were so boring. The thing I dislike the most is the black boots she wore. Paired with the under-the-knee dress, it just makes her look so much shorter than she is, and it's not flattering at all. Some simple black stilettos would have looked so much better. She didn't look bad, but the look was really disappointing. 6 out of 10. Next, we have Enhypen. Their outfits are a bit more interesting than the regular men look, and I always appreciate that. Some members are wearing color and although it's barely noticeable in some cases, I still love the fact that they are not wearing black. They are actually wearing dark brown velvet suits, and I especially like the look on the left because of the double-breasted jacket paired with the turtleneck and the thin gold chain. They too are wearing blue, one being a full velvet suit, and the other having this amazing brocade print jacket. He is also wearing an amazing printed jacket, but in black with a snake-like print that just looks so good. Their styling team focused more on the jackets than in anything else, leaving the bottom part of the look simple. Almost all of them are wearing textured or printed jackets, which automatically makes their looks more interesting. The thing that I don't like is that they gave only one member a white jacket. It makes him stand out for all the wrong reasons, and it breaks the darker shade of the whole look. This wasn't perfect, some looks are just super simple aside from the textured jacket, but you can tell that their stylists at least tried to make it more interesting, and I always appreciate that. 8 out of 10. And this is my ranking. Next, we have INI. Their outfits actually remind me of Enhypen's because of the color palette, but the similarities end pretty much there. Silhouette-wise, INI went for an oversized look in almost every member, and I personally love that type of silhouette. There wasn't a look that I wholeheartedly love. I liked some aspects of some looks, but there wasn't one I loved every single thing about it, and that's so sad. I want to see outfits that blow my mind, that are unique and interesting. The boys didn't look bad, but it felt like something was missing in every look. I like the different textures in their jackets, and I always love some sequins, but aside that, the rest was just bland. However, it's not an easy task to style so many people and make them look all equally nice and cohesive, so credit where credit it's due. This is 7 out of 10 for me. And this is my ranking. Next, we have the girls from Street Woman Fighter 2, and I have some thoughts about their looks, so let's go quickly one by one. She looks amazing, and I love the sequins, but the look isn't memorable enough. Love the printed top underneath the dress, it gives the look more of a soft vibe, but as a whole it feels like there's something missing. The dress is so nice, I love the asymmetric style, but the fit is horrible. Whoever tailored the dress to her did an awful job, or maybe she didn't get it tailored to her body and that's the issue. The dress is simple, but it's nice for the occasion, it's really flattering on her and she looks so pretty, but please someone iron the dress because it's so wrinkly. The dress is simple, which is probably why she wore the big feathery arm warmers, but I don't really like them. The silver headband is nice though, and I love the big silver earrings, however, I hate the shoes. She went for something simple, but the dress fits her perfectly, it's elevated enough for the occasion, and she looks amazing. I get what she was going for, and I don't necessarily think it looks bad, but it's just not my personal style. I know they probably don't have the same budget as bigger artists, but they all still look good. I also didn't expect them all to match, but they did, and because they are posing together that's always a plus in my book. 8 out of 10 for me. And this is my ranking. Next, we have Treasure. Once again, we have a group with quite a lot of members, and I have to say that their styling team did a nice job by giving each member a unique outfit. I love how almost all the outfits have a sparkly element in them, and I really wish all of them had it, and to the same degree since in some instances the sparkles are very minimum, to the point of barely being noticeable. My personal favorite looks are Yoshi and Jihoon. I'm obsessed with Yoshi's big sparkly coat, and all the pins and accessories make the look 10 times better. I also love Jihoon's sequin jacket, and once again, the accessories elevate the look so much more. Some outfits also looked way too simple compared to the rest, some looks were missing more sparkles and a ton more of accessories. If all the outfits were as grandiose as Yoshi's then this would have been a 10 out of 10 look, but they aren't, so this is a 9 out of 10 because of that. Next, we have Somi. She wore this black strapless tulle dress, and I have to say that this isn't my favorite look. She doesn't look bad, but I don't like the dress. I know there's going to be some people that actually love it, but this is just not for me. The tulle on even more tulle is not something that I'm obsessed with. I don't like the way the skirt falls without a shape, and I hate the ruffles in the bodice. I do like the Louboutin she's wearing, but aside that, I don't love much else. She's barely wearing any accessories, her hairstyle is simple, although it was a good choice to put it up with this dress. She was the host of Night 1 and she also performed, so I was expecting something a lot more impactful, so this is just disappointing. 7 out of 10. Next, we have Riize, and oh my god, since I first saw these looks I loved them, well almost all of them. I like the gray, black, and white color palette a lot. Their styling team managed to give them unique outfits that still perfectly matched and looked cohesive when all of them were together. My favorite outfit for sure is Yoonseok, and it's all because of the printed coat he has. If he didn't wear that specific coat, he for sure wouldn't have my favorite outfits, but I love the mix of prints and how eye-catching it is. I also love Shitaro's outfits. The suit is simple, but the gray color is so nice, and I really like the oversized silhouette. Sunchan's outfit is simple, but the Louis Vuitton monogram print makes it more interesting. Wonbin and Anton's outfits are also simple, but not in a bad way. Sohee's outfit is the most disappointing one for me. He doesn't look bad but it isn't giving red carpet, it's giving more just regular day-to-day outfit, and I hate that. They are all dripping in Louis Vuitton, and that's what it takes for idols to deliver interesting looks, then I'm all here for it. This is a 9.5 out of 10 look solely because Sohee's outfit isn't impactful enough. Next, we have Jo1. They wore mostly leather pieces and some denim ones here and there. Right from the bat their looks caught my attention because they really stand out from the rest. Their outfits aren't necessarily the most formal ones, but that isn't a bad thing for me. I rather have something unique that feels more casual than a tuxedo that is super boring. They went for a mostly black and white color palette, and I would have rather to see some color, or maybe keep the same color palette but add some print. Some of the pieces they are wearing are really interesting, but in most of the looks it feels like there's something missing. Some outfits are a bit too simple for me, and there are just 3 looks that I absolutely love. They have different layers in their outfits and nice accessories, which is what makes them stand out from the rest for me. As a whole, all of their looks combined is really good. I like that they tried something slightly different from other boy groups, and like I said before, it's never easy to style so many people at once. Still it isn't perfect, so 9 out of 10. Next, is Joo Hyunyoung. She wore this super pretty white sleeveless dress with details on silver. You can't see it that well on camera, but her dress actually has a bunch of sequins sewn throughout the whole dress and some fringes, especially towards the hem of the skirt. At first look, you might think that the dress is pretty simple, but it's actually a lot more elaborate. I wish that she had a bit more accessories, since the outfit looks a bit plain, especially in the neck area, but it's not that big of a deal since she still looked beautiful. 9 out of 10. Next, we have Minsi. She wore this stunning black tulle dress. I love the asymmetric neckline and the dress is a tiny bit sheer. The skirt has some tiny pleats that fall into the big skirt, and the sparkly lace just elevates the look even more. Her accessories are very minimal, but it's fine because it allows for the dress to be the center of attention. Her looks is actually everything I personally wanted for Somi, but I'm glad at least Minsi wore it, she looked gorgeous. Obviously 10 out of 10. Now, I'm going to go a speed round on some boy group looks that I still wanted to talk about, but there isn't much to say, so let's go quickly. We first have Enhypen. They look good, there's no denying it, but it's so boring. I like the double-breasted jackets, but that's it. I need more color, more interesting silhouettes, more accessories. Basically more of everything. 6 out of 10. Next, we have Just B. And just like Enhypen, they look good, but it's boring. The black and white color palette is so basic, and I want something more interesting. I do appreciate that some of them have accessories, and that all the jackets are different, with some having even sparkles, but it's still not enough. 7 out of 10. Next, we have Zero Base 1. I don't think they walked the red carpet on day one, but they still attended. They wore simple, classic, and boring black suits. They looked good, but there's nothing interesting about this aside Gyubin's long coat. 6 out of 10. Not even going to rank them because all their outfits are so similar. And last, but not least, we have Ateez. I also think they didn't walk the red carpet on day one, but they attended the event. They wore all black outfits, and they had some interesting pieces like Mingi's tweed jacket and Seonghwa's velvet jacket, but aside that, everything else was boring. If they had a lot more accessories their looks would have been 10 times better. 6 out of 10. As expected, most of the looks were boring, especially the boys. Everyone played it safe, and I just want something impactful and memorable. Idols are supposed to be the it people of the industry, they are supposed to be influential and trendsetters, but with these looks they definitely aren't setting any trends anytime soon. Out of all the people I talked about, only one person got a 10 out of 10, and she isn't even a singer, like it's the Mnet Asian Music Awards, but other people that are just guests are better dressed than the people nominated. Explain to me how that makes any sense. The best dress in the red carpet for me is for sure Go Minsi. She looked stunning, and like I said before, she was the only one who got a 10. Besides her, the only other people I would say is Riize. They caught my attention since the first time I saw their outfits, and even though it wasn't a perfect 10 for me, they still delivered something interesting. And the worst dress are all the boring looks from boy groups.
Everybody's looking at you, and I don't think you will.
Now, we're going to talk about the performance outfits. First, we have the intro performance. Eun Chae from Les Seraphim, Jong Hao from Zero Base 1, Yoon-suk, Yoshi, and Haruto from Treasure, and soloist Lee Youngji participated in it. Eun Chae wore white shirt with a tie, that she then took off to reveal a sparkly pink butterfly top paired with jeans and black boots. This look is very Y2K, and the pink bits on her hair are giving me Christina Aguilera in the 2000s. Shang Hao wore an all-white suit with gold accents. The outfit wasn't anything revolutionary but he looked good, and the white gave an angelic vibe that was perfect for his section of the performance. Lee Youngji also wore an all-white outfit with silver studs. Her look was giving more rock-ish vibes, at least to me. It wasn't anything that we haven't seen before, but she still looked great. Yoon-suk, Yoshi, and Haruto's outfits were completely different from the rest. They had a more street-style approach, perfect for the song they performed. I like that each one had a different color, and their presence at the end was quite eye-catching. They all had different sections with different songs, which is why they also have different outfits, but at the end they all came together and the different outfits clashed a bit. Everyone looked great individually, but if all their stylists would have agreed in at least a color, the end part would have looked better. 8 out of 10. Next, we have TXT. The boys wore some nice outfits for the red carpet, but I have to say that their performance outfits were disappointing. They began the performance with some simple white shirts and leather pants. It was so basic, but I was hoping that maybe they were going to change or add something to their looks, because the whole thing looked so plain. But they only added biker-styled leather jackets. I like that the jacket are personalized to the group, but they are so simple. For music shows they've worn much more interesting looks, so I was hoping for something a lot more interesting. They usually don't have boring styling, so I don't understand what the hell happened here. They didn't look bad, but this was all so disappointing. This is a 5 out of 10. And this is my ranking of the outfits. Next, we have Somi. She began the performance with this black leather jacket, and what looked like a black bodysuit with a tulle piece on one of the legs. She had some huge Louboutins on, probably the same from the red carpet look, and as soon as I saw them I was wondering how she was going to perform in them, but she took them off right from the beginning and then changed to some black boots. She then took the jacket, to reveal what she had underneath, and honestly that whole part in the performance felt unnecessary, but I guess you do you, girly. She didn't have a bodysuit under the jacket, she actually had a black corset with some tulle, some sort of shiny material, and sheer parts. She paired it with some skinny plain pants, and some sparkly black gloves. She also had a big silver sparkly choker that completed the look very nice. The outfit isn't anything groundbreaking, but she looked so good, and the pieces were perfectly tailored to her body. It also matched the vibe of Fast Forward perfectly. The only thing I would change is for the pants to have some sparkle in them or something that made them more interesting, since from the waist down the looks was pretty simple. 8 out of 10. Next, we have Enhypen. Their outfits for the red carpet were disappointing, but their outfits for the performance are insane. My jaw literally dropped when I first saw these outfits because they are gorgeous. All of them are wearing white head to toe, which is nice, but the real kicker is all the red print some of the pieces have. It's meant to represent blood that stained their all-white clothing, but it's made in the form of a red print that looks so freaking good, and on top of that, the red parts have tiny sequins sewn into it, and they shine so well while they are performing. I love that the silhouette of each outfit is slightly different, but they also all look equally amazing. This is truly how you do an award performance look. The outfits are impactful, memorable, and they follow the theme of the group. I was sad that their red carpet looks were so simple, but at least they delivered with the performance looks. Absolutely 10 out of 10. And this is my ranking. Next, we have Kep1er. The girls wore these insane all-black PVC outfits. I was shocked when I first saw their outfits because this type of look screams badass bitch, and although they are amazing, that isn't something I necessarily associate with Kep1er's music. When I actually saw them perform, I didn't think that the badass feel of the outfit matched the cuter sound of the song they performed, but the theme of the comeback is racing, so in that aspect the outfits actually made sense. I like that they aren't wearing exactly the same outfit, but rather the pieces change with each member. This type of look is what I like to call a classic girl group look. It's something that we've seen done before a ton of times, but it's not a bad look at all. I think that the look feels a bit too 2018, which isn't necessarily bad, but I expect more relevant fashion from K-pop groups. However, that doesn't mean the girls look bad. For the event and the performance they did, it was nice. This actually made me crave for a release with a more mature concept from Kep1er, like I think they would absolutely killed it. 8 out of 10. And this is my ranking. Next, we have the performance from the leaders of Street Woman Fighter 2. They all wore black from head to toe, with also all of them having silver details in their outfits. The black color is really basic, however, most of the pieces they wore are really interesting. I like the asymmetric silhouette in some of their outfits, and I love how some of them had sparkly fabric since it looked so good on camera. The accessories were also on point, and I especially love how almost all of them have some sort of silver body chain that elevated their look. Unlike their red carpet looks, these feel much more cohesive. Whoever styled them did an incredible job at matching all their looks perfectly while also managing to make each one of the girls stand out on their own. I would have loved for their performance to be longer. It flew by so quickly, and there wasn't enough time for the outfits to shine in all its glory. I also couldn't find a lot of HD pics of the outfits, which sucks because they looked so good. This is a 10 out of 10. And this is my ranking of the outfits. Next, we have Xikers. The outfits they wore had this overall punk vibe that I absolutely love. Most of the pieces they wore were either in black or white, however, the look didn't feel boring at all. The jackets they wore are so freaking cool. The pop of red here and there makes their outfits stand out a bit more since it's a contrast to the black. I love the print on print, the patchwork, the studs, and how they are personalized to the group. The accessories also elevated the look so much. All the pins on the jackets, the hats, the gloves, the ties, the jewelry, all of them were key points in the look. The punk aesthetic in fashion is something I personally love so much, and some boy groups have dabbled in it here and there, so technically this look isn't that revolutionary, however, I personally freaking love it. When I was first watching the performances from day one, I didn't check Xikers because I don't really stan them. However, after seeing the outfits they wore, it made me quite intrigued and I ended up watching their performance. I have to say that I loved it. This look is a 10 out of 10 for me. And this is my ranking. And last, but not least, we have the TVXQ and Riize performance outfits. Riize opened the performance wearing this white suits. All of the jackets were different, and all of them had silver sequins sewn into them, which shined so beautifully while they were performing. The pants are simple, but I love the pleats on the front. It's such a small detail, but I love it, so I had to mention it. They paired the white pieces with black shirts, which matched the black shoes, and really tied their looks together with the TVXQ members. Changmin and Yunho wore these amazing black jackets with a ton of silver rhinestones sewn into them. They wore simple black pants and shoes, which is so basic, but it also allowed for the jackets to be the main attraction in the look. The jackets are gorgeous, and I love how the rhinestones are sewn to look like spider webs. It's just so cool. Their outfits are more impactful than Riize's, which makes total sense since this is their performance, and Riize are just there as backup. But I like how well matched their outfits were, not only in the color palette, but also in the vibe. It probably helped that they are from the same company, so their styling teams could work together. Also, at some point, TVXQ ditched the jackets and changed. Yunho wore a double-breasted suit jacket with silver buttons that matched the sequined silver fabric on the neckline and that hanged from the waist. Changmin wore a leather jacket with also a sequined silver fabric on the shirt and a hanging piece on the waist. At this point, they were performing without Riize, but after the performance they all took a picture together, and their outfits still matched, which I honestly love. All the outfits I mentioned in here aren't super revolutionary, but they worked so good for the type of performance they did, and all the boys looked amazing. I of course would have loved some color, but it's not that big of a deal. 9 out of 10. And this is my ranking. As a whole, the performance outfits were better than the red carpet outfits, at least for me. They were a lot more impactful and thought out, which makes total sense for big-scale performances like these. There still wasn't a moment where I was mind-blown, or where someone wore something super crazy. For an award show as big as Mama is, I always expect a grandiose fashion moment from someone, but unfortunately I'm always disappointed. I kinda want a comeback from the crazy fashion idols wore in the 2010s, because although they didn't age that well, at least they were delivering looks. For me there wasn't anyone that looked bad, but more like some outfits were a bit disappointing. Without a doubt, the best dressed for the performances is Enhypen. Their outfits caught my attention since the first moment I saw them, and I knew they were going to be really high up on my list. The worst dressed for me would have to be TXT. They didn't look bad, but their outfits were so simple and boring. I 100% rather have a crazy outfit that's kinda ugly but outside the box, than a cute but boring and forgettable outfit. I hope that for next year we can have better outfits, but I unfortunately don't think that will happen. That was everything for the video, and if you made it up to this point, you are amazing. I really hope you enjoyed it, and let me know in the comments if you agree with my opinions, and who was your best and worst dressed of day one. I wanted to post this video a lot earlier, but I've been super busy with work, so better late than never I guess. I will be posting a video talking about the outfits from day 2, so be on the lookout for that. I also plan on doing a video talking about the Melon Music Awards outfits, but this type of videos take so long to make, so please be patient with me. If you want to see more of me, follow me in my Instagram account. I post K-pop fashion related content and do some games on my stories with outfits idols have worn. Thank you so much for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.
Fast forward.